It has been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. Here's a random thought. Gay people can be real idiots. Okay, some people already have run off in indignation, but I am trying to make a point, so please bear with me for a moment. We've seen a huge backlash in the world, I think recently in gay rights, or just in general the rights of the entire Pride community, the entire diversity of that community. So we've seen a backlash even here in Iceland, which is a country which really prides itself, no pun intended, on being very progressive in those areas. We've seen these things as well. So we've seen an increased dialogue specifically around trans rights. We've heard kind of people now making snarky comments, jokes, speaking out in slightly in just homophobic ways. And it's really strange. It feels extremely weird. And it really annoys me. I'm not a very patriotic guy. I'm not a very nationalistic guy. You know, I don't get filled with nationalistic pride. You know, I'm Icelandic. So I don't feel those things. I think nations are pretty much labels we give ourselves to feel that we belong to a particular group. You know, these socio-political sets we create around people. So I don't feel a particular need to be proud of having been born in a particular location. It does, however, I do, however, feel pride when I see the kind of progress we've made in areas like that. When I attend the gay parade, for instance, the Pride parade in Reykjavik once a year, that's probably the one day a year where I feel a bit of nationalistic pride, a bit of pride in what we here have achieved as a society. So it really bothers me to see this kind of backlash. To see that this is happening. And I've been trying to figure out what causes it. So why is it happening, and you know, what's the problem when I try to have conversations with people about these things, when I try to discuss these things. And I think one of the things we should take out of this entire backlash is that it's a signal to those of us who want to support that progressive attitude, we want to show compassion to our brothers and sisters and all in between in the society, that we need to speak up more often. We need to use opportunities like these to speak up. So let's call the backlash a reminder to us, the big silent majority that wants to show support, to remember every now and then to speak up and show our support actively. Yes, show our support actively. Yeah, I think I got that right. When trying to realize, you know, why can people feel this anger? Why do people create this kind of dissent, to feel this distance, or can't just get along on these particular topics? Something popped in my mind when I had a conversation with this gentleman earlier. So he was saying something, or I was saying something like, and I'm really paraphrasing now because this was a few weeks ago. He was saying that he I was saying, see, it's already been a while. So I was talking about, and now this is really on the more easily understandable, if I allow myself to phrase it that way, the more easily understandable spectrum of the Pride community, which was just, you know, old-fashioned gay men, something which, you know, I think not a new concept to any of us. And I said something along the lines of, you know, all they want is to be treated a particular way. They being already a generalization, but, you know, again, I'm trying to make a point. And this gentleman I was having a friendly conversation, a slight argument with, lashed back at me and kind of said, why do you think you can speak for that community? Why do you think you have any idea what they actually want? Have they told you that this is what they want? And this is where, ping, something went off in my head. He had decided to define a group of people and persons, individuals as well, complex, multifaceted individuals, by the one tiny thing which actually differentiated them, him from them, and somehow to believe that as such they are just one homogeneous group of like-minded people and that they are completely different from him. They think completely differently, that they are some alien group which has a completely different mindset, and this is absolute bullshit. So I said earlier, what did I say? I said gay people can be idiots. I can substitute that with ginger people, black people, old people, young people. Of course, these are extremely broad groups, and these are actually characteristics which we've picked at, minor characteristics in our physicality, personality, whatever have you, sexuality, minor characteristics which only define a tiny portion of who we are. So I think I can pretty easily say that the majority of our personality, the majority, almost the entirety of that other person is exactly like me. So I can, yes, I think as a human being, easily speak for another human being on those, when it relates to or pertains to those basic wants and needs in life. And this is some strange kind of almost intentional lack of empathy, some need to create divergence or difference, and I don't get that. Why wouldn't I opt to see what actually brings us together and connects us, to see and to focus on how we are the same rather than how we are different? If I do so, then it becomes extremely easy for me to empathize, extremely easy for me to put myself in other people's positions. Taking the example of the gay man, that was the kind of the crux of the argument of the conversation, that this guy I was talking to, also a old, let's call it an old-fashioned, middle-aged, white, cis male, heterosexual, just with, we had slightly different perspectives on things. He was just saying, I just can't understand why they can feel that way. And my mind is, why can't you understand that? It's exactly the same feelings that I have, that particular guy, that you have, that you harbor. They're just directed at other groups of people. Exact same feelings. Easy to empathize with, extremely easy. I know exactly how a gay man feels when he falls in love. It's exactly the same feeling that I feel, just aimed at different groups of people. Exact same feeling. I can completely put myself in their position. I can completely empathize and understand. And I think I can pretty easily speak to, on a general level, what they would want and how they feel. Yeah, just wanted to make this point. Since this is more conversational than structured, this is unscripted, by the way, I'm just blabbing my mouth. Same thing, or another thing, a huge backlash towards trans rights, which is equally, if not even more disturbing. You're seeing a group of people, again, human beings, like everybody else, same struggles, same feelings, people. You're seeing them go through a process which is, I cannot imagine even how traumatizing it is. Living in those circumstances, making those decisions to go through dangerous transformation which is needed and required for their emotional well-being. It must be extremely difficult, and you can just see it. And I don't have to guess that it's difficult. We can see, very sadly, the amount of or the frequency of self-harm, suicide, and those things in the trans community, or people going through that process specifically, and that's awful, of course. And exactly on that note, why would I want to add to that pain? Why would I, because of my own indignation or my own view of the world, hiding behind excuses sometimes, like religion, which is either ignorant or evil to do, maybe even a little bit of both. Hiding behind those excuses or any other excuses to kind of lash out, to add to the pain and difficulty that people are going through already, when we could just extend a sympathetic hand, physically or figuratively. We're all people, right? So why don't we just treat other people with dignity, with care, humanity, and just be kind to one another. So I guess, again, I have no idea where to end this. Let's focus on the things which actually harmonize or bring us together. We're all human beings. Let's treat each other. We all know how we want to be treated with respect, dignity, and kindness. So let's extend that to our fellow humans in whatever shape or form they come. This is the internet. And this is a video on my YouTube channel. So I'm pretty excited to see, because I'm pretty sure that I don't have a huge following on YouTube or anything, but it's sizable enough. I'm probably gonna see some hits of unsubscriptions coming from this particular video. That's fine. It's actually more than fine. If you completely, you don't need to agree with me absolutely, but if you completely disagree with these points, then I don't really care. So to those unsubscriptions, I say good riddance.